Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing iRacing GTE League, Season number 7, Round number 4, here at the Nurburgring. My name is King-Kodiak and I'll be your commentator throughout this evening's race. It is just myself in the commentary box this very eve, as my faithful companion for this league, Mr. Stevie SQ, is sadly not able to join me. Now, I am slightly later than I would like due to some technical difficulties, but I am here. Qualifying is underway, and for those that are unfamiliar with the series, we have got our 3 classes, our pros, our pro-ams, and our ams. And we stagger the qualifying, so this time it is the pros that are coming out first. So let's see who we have got for our pro category. Christoph Holstein is out there in the Porsche. Christoph Holstein sits 6th in the championship, having won a couple of rounds ago at Watkins Glen, and has had some pretty decent. He's a pretty quick guy, is Mr. Holstein. Anyone that's seen the GTE live before will know that. Anyone that hasn't, he's multiple champion, so he knows what he's doing. He's in the Porsche for Comrade Gaming. Ivor Costa, he's new to the iRacing side. We have seen him a few times this very season. He's in the Black Eagle Racing 123 Ferrari. We have Michael Drexler, the Huber Racing Esports 189 Ferrari. And I knew I'd do that. I had my OBS set wrong. At least I spotted it this time. Oh, speaking of OBS settings, the one thing I keep forgetting to change. No, I had actually remembered to check it. All is well. Okay. Oh, that's a name I do not recognize. Roberte Eduard. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. For Sim Racing Channel White. Welcome to you, the 161 Porsche. Who else have we got? Ina Marinsky, the 184 BMW for Mayera HCR Scudder. Mike Scapers, the 196 V3 Racing Ford. Jared Caroni in the Satellite Racing 113 Ferrari. Oh, another name I don't recognize. I recognize the livery, though. That is, of course, the Alpine Stars Geodesic Skin, the 188 Timo Gorelick. Welcome to you. Claudio Klima, also Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing Porsche, number 110. Nathan Parkinson, also part of the Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing Squad in the 155 Ferrari, and our champion, who his championship defense hasn't gone as smoothly as he would like. That is Dan Sasolski in the number 1 Porsche. Well. So as a quick recap then, has anyone actually set a qualifying lap? Yes, we have got some positions on the board. Mr. Holstein, currently at the top of the table, back in the pits with a 148.307. Ivor Costa has just come off track and is in a second. Parkinson 4th. Timo Gorelick is has just set what was the second fastest time, has just been demoted to 3rd by that man, Mr. Caroni. Apologies for the kind of stammered responses at the moment. I had a huge technical problem, which meant I had to completely restart what I was doing, which was lovely considering I was trying to set up the stream, and literally with seconds to go I rejoined the session. So I am just sorting out the last few windows I need so that I can give you lovely people my undivided attention. So again, I'm just getting the last few things sorted out, and then we will have a proper rundown of who is where. Mr. Holstein's come back out again. Mike Dressler, Already, I've got Mike's name wrong. Michael Drexler is in 7th at the moment. Our new guy, Mr. Edouard, has yet to set a time on the board. He is on his time lap. Let's follow him through then as he is coming through the Mercedes arena. Down to turn 3. I'm trying to do this from memory as I haven't got my track map handy. Then turn 4. Bounces over the arm of the ship. They can wander out to that particular point that you've just seen. It looks like they wander too far, but iRacing allows them to do so. Now 6. Non-existent turn 5 down that short section from 4 to there. And then 7. Hard on the gas downhill as they come over to the left-hand side to approach the Camber Dunlop curve. Turn number 8. There we go. Now armed with the track map. So I should now, inverted commas, should now be uninterrupted for the remainder of this race. You lucky, lucky people. Now, Schumacher S's turns 9 and 10. Coming back up the hill again over the crest, heading towards turn 11. Our Pro-Ams will be getting ready to get underway very, very shortly. I do have an incident count this time. My faithful companion, Mr. Stevie SQ, has managed to fix that for me, so I am very grateful for that. Sweeps through turn 13, heading towards the Vidal chicane. We use the endurance version, which is this slightly longer version. I didn't quite see who that was that was jumping out of the way. I think it was Michael Drexler, actually, that was jumping out of the way of our debutant. And what does Robette get on the board? It is a 150.4, and that slots you 9th position at the moment. Dan Sasolski has got a time on the board. The champion up into 4th with a 148.996. Interestingly, that the board on the I was just thinking, why is the board on the left not highlighting? It's because the board on the left scrolls and it's scrolling down to people that haven't come out yet. That's why. Interestingly, Mike Scaper's yet to get a time on the board. I'm really curious about that, as Mike's always a strong front runner. That's surprised is no one to hear that. That's a quick summary of where we are with the championship. Jared Caroni, having won 2 rounds out of the current season, leads the point standings on 160, and then it is Mr. Scapers, so we are currently looking at, with only 1 podium, a 5th, a 3rd and a 4th so far in the season. That finds you 30 points behind Jared, but a further 20 ahead of Claudia Klima in 2nd position. Then it is Dominic Gaidemeyer, who I didn't see his name on the board. Do we not have a Mr. Gaidemeyer again? Quick look. It does not look like we do. No. And if we have a look at our Pro-Ams, they are getting ready to go. We got on the nose of the Porsche. There, you can see them just gathering at the end of the pit lane. So the Pro-Ams getting ready to start their qualifying run. Now, again, as a reminder, as Mr. Holstein comes back into the pits, as a reminder, all 3 groups will go out, but they go out. The pros go out first, the Pro-Ams come out next, and the AMs will come out last. That order changes every week. So some weeks it's the Pro-Ams that come out first, and some weeks it's the AMs come out first. It's a staggered qualifying system we are trying for this season. As that, I think, is that Mike that's coming over the line? No, that's not Mike at all. Any change in the top? No, Holstein's still at the top. Jared Caroni is improved on this time, 148.444, but did not get up into the top spot. What does Claudia Klima do? He crosses the line, and it's invalid, so he will start no higher than 3rd. Inar Marinsky is still out there in the HCR Mayella HCR Scuderia BMW, and did not improve. That was an invalid time, and now our Pro-Ams are out. Oh, has Mr. Pfeffer changed car? I'm fairly sure he was in a Ford last I looked. But either way, I could have that completely wrong. I had it in my head that Christopher Pfeffer here was running the Castrol liveried Ford. I might have that wrong, especially if I see the Castrol liveried Ford a bit later on. But the 263 VSR Visceral Racing Alpha Ferrari. We have Scott McCracken, the Mayella HCR Scuderia Ferrari, number 208. Darko Nicolin, V3 Racing BMW Ford 202. Paolo Martins, Phoenix Motorsports, car number 299. Renault Luke V3 Racing Gold Porsche number 230. Andrew Langham Service Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing number 214. In the BMW, Sylvian Moraine in the 286 VEC Sim Racing Porsche. Ronnie Gibbons, the Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing 228 BMW. Sarah Dove, the number 200 AOR Hime Ford. Excuse me. Morgan Valanace and the 221 VC Racing Porsche. Oh, another name I don't recognise. I recognise the team but not the person. Welcome to you, Liam McNinch in the 264 HCR Mayela. Oh, no, not at all. Mayela HCR Yamagura. Nice, like it. In the Ferrari, Callum McFall, the privateer number 205 Ferrari. Marvin Sluman, Lion Racing at 241 Porsche. Regis Lamique in the big blocks. Again, I say it every week. Have to be careful how I say it. 298 Porsche. Evan Imre in the AOR Yellow 222 BMW. Flavian Foku, VEC Sim Racing BMW, car number 291. And finally, Alex Bennett in the 250 Conrad Tepper Alliance Ferrari. If they had different coloured wheels, it would actually be confused for the... Paolo Martins. See, they're very similar in colour. They have that kind of light blue idea going on. There you go. You can now see how the pros stack up in their qualifying. With the exception of Roberto Edouard, they were separated by 1.111 seconds from Holstein in first and Scapers in 11th. As now the first of the Pro-Ams coming in. Whoa, what a time from Scott McCracken. 49.329, just 200 of a second off the back of Nathan Parkinson. And it's done to... Whoa, Liam McNinch. What a way to make a statement of intent. Jumps up to 6th position with a 49.195. Now, I mean no disrespect to our Pro-Ams. We don't tend to expect to see them really mixing them up with the Pro category. And Callum McFall has actually just dethroned McNinch for the top of the Pro-Am standings in the 205 privateer Ferrari with a 149.146. 49 thousandths of a second quicker than Liam. What a cracker. So Scott McCracken, 12th overall, 3rd in class at the moment. Valanace, 4. Duncan Eklund, 5. And Ronnie Gibbons in 6th. Sarah 7. Paolo Martins, 8. Andrew Langham Service, 9. Renault Luke, 10. Wow, that puts Roberto Edouard, the newcomer to the Pro category, all the way down to 22nd. Goodness me. And Evan Imre, Flavian Foker, Regis Lamique, and Fefa. Oh, sounded like someone was going for a bit of an excursion there. Fefa, the only not the only Pro-Am without a time on the board. Sylvie Moraine and Marvin Sliman yet to get a time on the board. They've been out, they've done an out lap, but unfortunately invalidated their time lap. They still have time though. Another couple of minutes, or just under 3 minutes. They have until the timer hits 8 minutes remaining to complete, to begin their lap. Sorry, and then they have the time to complete their lap. Then they must be out of the way before the AMs then leave the pit lane, so that we cannot, we don't see any kind of people tripping up or being. Oh, we have a late entrant, Jeremy Hoppe, in the 282 VEC Sim Racing BMW. He's going to have to be careful about how he comes out of the pit lane. You can see he's trying to find a spot. Oh, I've just seen an interesting name at the bottom of the AM list. I think I struggled to say you last week. I've seen that name before, and I panicked when I saw it last time. So we'll have fun with that one when we get to the AMs. Oh, I love the noise of that BMW. Who's out there? Liam McNinch is out there. He's actually jumped up ahead of Callum McFall. He's found that 49,000 of a second plus a little bit more. 149.131, 2.5 tenths off the back of Zasolski, and 16 thousandths ahead of McFall, who has actually gone back to his pit box. He's not on track. So, an interesting decision from McFall. They don't have a lot of time left. Oh, he doesn't actually have enough time to come out anyway. That's why he's gone back to his box. Simply put, no point. So, well. What a debut then for Liam McNinch. The Mayela HCR Yamagura team. Valanace has crossed the line. He is in 15th overall. He is in 5th in the Pro-Ams. Alex Bennett, I didn't see you. You've jumped back to your pit box with the I didn't see you set your time, I should say, for the Comrade Tepper Alliance. The 250 Ferrari, I believe he's in 13th overall, 4th in class. Nicely done, sir. Where is Mr. McNint? He is coming up to the Bilstein curve, I think, or is he at the Vidal chicane? Nope, that's the Vidal chicane he's at. So you can see we use the... oh, someone's hit the ball. That'll be Evan Imre. Heard the bang in the AOR yellow BMW. Oh, wow. This, oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's just have a look at that again. So he's coming up to the Vidal chicane. Catches the first stage. Oh, he got a little bit unsettled on the first one. Tried to catch it. And unfortunately, traction happening at the wrong time for him. Throws his car into the wall and will start no higher than 22nd overall. And there's the AMs, look. The AMs are now getting ready to go. And Pfeffer does get a time on the board. Oh, barely has time to finish it. Well, he started it. Now the AMs should get going. And none of them have moved. Daniel Lindholt is getting ready to go. Oh, there they go. The AMs are now on the way. So let's have a look at what we have got, or who we've got representing the AM category. Let's see. We have got Ben Hitchcock has yet to appear. He's in the Visceral Racing Alpha team. Thomas Coombe for V3 Racing Red in 371 Ford. A name I don't recognise. Welcome to you. One of the PCDC Motorsport Squad. The 365 BMW. Jürgen Kleiber. And for Frederick Hecker Racing in the 340 BMW. Boy Williamson in the Hard Bass Motor Racing 356 Ford. Chris Yardley. I love the skin on the front of that car. The Privateer 393 Ford. Richard Fletcher. Privateer 344 Ferrari. Another name I don't recognise. Welcome to you. We always welcome new drivers. Always welcome new drivers. And another one of the Alpine Stars GTSX squad. The 311 BMW of Alex Dupuis. Plessis? I would say Alex Duplessis. That's as close as I'm ever going to get. The 369 VC Racing Porsche of Merlin Cooper. The 312, he's not out there at the moment. The Visceral Racing Bravo car of Stephen Norman. 318, Cohen Van Eyck of the Lion Racing Team. 336, Anthony Washington for Visceral Racing Bravo in the Ferrari. Craig Parsons, car number 343, also for PCDC Motorsports in the Porsche. Daniel Linholtz for LM Connection in the Treble 3 Porsche. Marcus Elenica. That's the Castrol Ford I was thinking of. The 324 Privateer Entrant Ford. Victor Matias starts his hot lap. The 304 LM Connection Porsche. Jamie Smith, our AM champion from last season. The 345 Privateer Ford. Jeremy Hoppe is not supposed to be coming out on track. He is a Pro-Am. Oh, he's probably coming to the end of his last lap. Another name I don't recognise. Another one of the big blocks team. The 348 BMW of Felipe Salinar. I think I just settled for calling you Jersey. I cannot remember how I even attempted to say this name before. The 360 Privateer Entrant. Warrenchek, I think I went through. Warrischek. Something like that, but we'll call you Jersey, because there's no way I'm ever going to get anywhere near that. And finally, the 354 PCDC Motorsports Yellow Porsche of Joe Myers. Who is going to be first to set a time in the AM category? A few people on there. Let's have a look at Casper Arild. New entrant to this league. Welcome to you. Arild, I guess that is. He's got a lot of... oh, that's one of the Fords getting out of the way. That's Bilstein, I think he's coming out to. Yes, it is. 10, 12. My favourite skin... I have no bias, we all know this, but I still love the V3 Racing Ford. It's still one of my favourite liveries, although, as I say, the grinning car of Chris Yardley. Nice effort to tell me how the... Vororacek? I'm sticking with Jersey, because I'm not going to get... I'll have to ask the person how they say it themselves. Right, it's time for the AMs to get some times on the board. Joe Myers with a 150.9. Casper Arid with a 150.1. Jumps him up to 26th. Who else? Victor Matios. 26th, not 6th. What am I saying? For Casper. Victor Matios, 28th with a 150.3. Jersey with the 360 car. It's 159.579. So once again, very, very close. Oh, Chris Yardley jumps up into 3rd in the Pro-Ams. In the Pro-Ams, not yet. In the AMs. With 150.385. That's making Roberto Edouard's day even worse. Who else has got a time in Merlin Cooper with a 150.555? They still have to the end of the session, of course, to get their times in and done. Oh, we have a late join in the form of Canoe Martinson, the AOR yellow car number 220. He will be starting from the back because he has not put a time in, along with Jeremy Hoppe, actually, of the Pro-Am category. Ben Hitchcock has got his car on the track, but has not moved. Jürgen Kleiber the same. No time for those two. Where's the boy Williamson? He is coming through towards Bilstein, I think. No, you're nowhere near there. You're going through the Ford curve. So a little way to go, but still time for him to get a time on the board. Richard Fletcher. He's coming up to the Schumacher, is he? No, he's coming down to 6 and Ford curve turn 7 as well. Stephen Norman as well. He hasn't come out. He's joined the session unless Stephen's got a problem. Craig Parsons. He's coming to the end of his lap. Let's see what he can do. His last lap was a 151.0, but I think that was either an out lap or he was invalid, as it's not counted as... Oh, Casper Arid jumped up into 22nd. Wow, with a 149.9. Nicely done. Let's just see what Craig got on the board. There's a 150.8. Invalid, I think. Casper Arid in the 365 PCDC Motorsports BMW starts 22nd overall. He's quite some way ahead of Cohen Van Eyck is our second place man in the AMs. Excellent job with a 150.232. You have to go 29 places to cover by 2 seconds. As is always the way in the GTE League, the times are so very, very close. It's always, always good fun to see. Victor Matios currently 3rd. Chris Yardley 4th in the AMs. Oh, never mind. Richard Fletcher has jumped up to 2nd in the Privateer 344 Ferrari. Union Jack emblazoning the car. That's the first time I've noticed that. Apologies if that's not the first time you've run it. Nicely done. But our AM champion, Jamie Smith, the Privateer 345 Ford, still yet to get a time on the board and less than a minute to do so. Now, of course, he's going to finish his time from there. But it's not been a great title defence for Jeremy. Admittedly, I'll have to look at where he sits in the AM Championship shortly. As he comes over the line, what does he put on the board? 154.7. That's not going to put him very far. Well, indeed, that's not really going to do anything for him because it's not a valid lap. 30 seconds before the checkered flag doth fall. Quite a few people without the time on the board. 50 drivers. We have a complete grid for this evening. Let's see what Jeremy is able to do. We'll have a rundown of everybody's grid position shortly. Richard Fletcher, Casper Arid. It's a day for the newcomers. We've had Liam McNinch in the Pro-Ams. And his maiden race up right up there in 6th position. And Callum McFall, less than 200 a second behind him, 6th and 7th, mixing it up with the pros. And you've got Casper Arid that's doing a stunning job in the AM category. And Mr. Holstein is reasserting his authority up the top of the field. Certainly not a newcomer. Oh, and that's a Porsche that's parked it. I didn't see who that was. There's the checkered flag is well and truly out. Now that 2-minute counter is for anyone to finish their lap. They don't cross the line tough. And Victor Matios has just crossed the line in the 304 LM Connection Porsche. That puts him in Second in the AMs, behind Casper. Not even a 10th behind Casper, I would think. Speaking of, where is he? There he is. Who's still running? Merlin Cooper is still out there. You are 1.5 minutes to go from the Dunlop curve. You'll have to get on with it. Where's Jersey? Aha! Oh, someone's peeling into the pits. I didn't quite see who that was. Jürgen Kleiber, Ben Hitchcock, Boy Williamson, Steve Norman, Marcus Elenika, Jamie Smith didn't get a time on the board. Oh dear, he's going to start almost last. What does Jersey do? A 1:50.7. He does not improve with that time. Merlin Cooper's still going. Where's that? That is... Pardon me. Not entirely sure what that is. Casper came in the pits. He did not complete the lap. Where's that? Oh, he's coming up to the Vidal chicane. Yeah, he'll finish his lap from there. Oh, no, he won't, because he's coming into the pits. Okie dokie. Quite a few people out of position. As it's just myself, I will be pausing what I'm saying to take a drink. I make no apology for that. Wow, goodness me. 8 drivers not getting a time on the board. Knut Martinson, Ben Hitchcock, Jürgen Kleiber, Boy Williamson, Stephen Norman, Marcus Analika, Jamie Smith and Jeremy Hoppe. No time on the board. Thank you for that, Stefan. I hadn't taken that into consideration. Some people starting from the pit lane. That's why they did not set a time. Right, your grid then, as it will be for this 1 1.5 hour race. It is Holstein, Caroni, Klima, Drexler, Sasolski, McNinch, again, stunning effort for him, McFall, Marinsky, Gorlick, again, great effort for the debutant, Costa, Parkinson, McCracken, Bennett, Scapers, Valanes, Moraine, Nicolin, Pfeffer, Martins, Sluman, Gibbons, Reed, all the way up there in 22nd in the AMP class. Well done, sir. Focus, Dove, Imrave, Matios, Langham Service, Fletcher, Luke, Van Eyck, Yardley, Edouard, all the way down in 32nd in his maiden race in the pro category. Linholt, Combe, Cooper, Jersey, still not attempting to say that name, Lamique, Myers, Salinar, Plessis, Parsons, Washington, Martinson, Hoppe, Zelenika, Kleiber, Smith, Hitchcock, Williamson, and Norman. Right. Not the camera I was aiming for. Nor that one. That's the one I was aiming for. So then, everyone will grid up, and we will then get this race underway. 45 laps. Some drivers also have an extra stop and go to serve. So they will come into the pits, come to a complete halt, and then get going again. Serves as essentially as a 5-second penalty for a misdemeanor at previous rounds. Oh, I think it was Mr. Holstein revving his engine, wanted to get underway. So it's part that it will have part of a formation lap, not an entire formation lap for this race. And then we will get 45 laps of this glorious, glorious circuit underway. I will do my best to keep up with everything going on, but as it's just me in the box, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to do so. That's the view that Mr. Holstein has, staring at the back of that Geodesic Racing car number 1110. 1110? That's too many ones. I've forgotten who that is off the top of my head. We should get rolling any second. Anyone that has not gridded up? No, looks like everybody did. And there goes the safety car. So then, what will happen here is the field will be led around until they return back to the start-finish straight. And then at that point, what the pace car would have already peeled off by then. And then Mr. Holstein will be free to floor it at a point convenient to him to signify the beginning of this race. Through the Vidal chicane, you can see the much tighter layout that's used in the likes of Formula 1, but not here. And in goes... Oh, look at that! Look at Jared Caroni really keen to get on with it, and he's flown it, has Mr. Holstein. We are racing here at the Nurburgring. Look at that big pack of cars. that look how the top 5 have separated from the rest of the field. Holstein leads Caroni. Whoa, and is cutting off the geodesic Porsche, and so close between the tail of Holstein and the nose of Gero Caroni. Here they come for the first time in anger. Through look at the gap that Holstein's got for himself. As soon as the numbers have sorted themselves out, we will get that underway. And look at that. Caroni leads Klima, Sasolski 4. Lots of position swapping going on. Of course, no way I'll be able to keep up with all of them, but I will do my best to have a look at who's where when the racing has kind of sorted itself out after the first lap. We've had Hitchcock, Kleiber and Norman start from the pit lane. But everybody, all 50 cars, are underway at the moment. And Holstein's already got himself 0.7 of a second between himself and his pursuer of Gero Caroni, who's got himself a second over Claudio Klima. Sasolski's trying to do something about it. The Geodesic Racing Porsches line astern at the moment, but there's no racing orders that go on in that team, so they will fight each other as much as they can. Sasolski in, we can now actually turn that on because now the numbers have sorted themselves out. Drexler in 5th, there he is in the 1A9 Ferrari. Eno Marinsky said, oh, someone kicking up a bit of dust there. Marinsky 6th, Callum McFall is in the lead of the Pro-Ams, there he is. Where on earth did where did he go? Where did our Pro-Am poleman go? Liam McNeese, there he is in 10th, so he's lost a few positions, nothing too catastrophic. But where's our AM leader? Casper O'Reed. There he is, 22nd, where he started. But he's holding his own right in amongst the Pro-Ams. And that is Evan Imre that's getting a little bit fidgety with Andrew Langham's service on his outside. But we'll check in with our leaders as they now complete the first racing lap. And the top 3 really, top pair has really spread out. Oh, that's Drexler that's gone very deep into the first turn. Fending off Marinsky. Marinsky is trying to do his best against Callum McFall. Now, it doesn't really... Well, I say it doesn't really serve for the Pro-Ams to fight the pros. It doesn't make a difference to the class battle, so the Pro-Am battle won't be benefited by the fact that Callum McFall is fighting against the pros, but he will make a difference to the team championship. So there is still... He's a privateer, though, so it's kind of give or take, but he's making a statement of authority there. He's proving himself worthy to be in amongst the pros when the next shuffle of the classes happens. Almost everybody getting at least 1 incident point. For the lead car that doesn't is actually Liam McNinch. So once again, an excellent debut for... Oh, that's someone running very wide. That was Scott McCracken. Look at that's Mike Scapers all the way down there in 12th. Ivor Costa is in 11th. Although he's 1 and a bit seconds up the road from Mike. Oh my goodness, Scott's got a lot of company there from Alex Bennett. Morgan Valanese is in there as well, side by side as they come through turn 11. Who's going to win out? Will the Porsche be the Ferrari into the right-hander, the Bilstein curve? No, the Ferrari's hanging on in there. Alex Bennett doing what he can. Alex has shown some brilliant form of late. And still side by side as they come through the right-hander of turn 13 up to the Vidal chicane in anger. Neither of them wanted to give up on this. And the Ferrari has gone back, has gone up into 14th. Nicely done for Alex Bennett. Excellent, excellent stuff. Ooh, that's a VSR Ferrari going for a bit of a wander. No, not Dark and Nicolin. That's a V3 Ford. Very, very wide on that final turn. That's allowing Paolo Martins and the Phoenix Motorsport Ferrari to have a crack at him on the inside. He wants to position himself for that first turn. Doesn't look like he's got the pace to do it, but he could have a big old dive on the inside of turn 1. No, things better at that one. Long, 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 long way to go. An hour and 20 minutes is what these guys have got to deal with. Oh, that's Timo Gorlick that's just lost a position to Nathan Parkinson. And that is for 8th position. Although Parkinson and... That's... I beg your pardon. Gorlick and Parkinson, the geodesic Porsches. And then right behind them is Liam McNinch in the 2nd place Pro-Am Mayella Ferrari. Callum McFall has fallen behind Eno Marinsky now, as he was fighting Mike Drexler last time we looked. But that battle seems to have resolved itself for now. Oh, just beg your pardon. I was saying that the highest person with 0 incident points was Liam McNinch. It's actually this man, our champion, Dan Sasolski. Looks like the top 4 are fairly settled. Holstein still leads away. Look at the lead he's got. That's absolutely cracking from Christoph Holstein. Again, not meaning that in a disrespectful sense, but Gero Caroni has been an absolute god the last couple of rounds. He struggled a little bit more than we used to a couple of rounds ago. Oh, excuse me, at Watkins Glen. He finished 4th there, but he won at Interlagos last week by playing the strategy brilliantly well. Oh, Ivor Costa has got company from Mike Scapers. No, that's not Scapers, it's Liam Minch. Oh, my goodness, side by side. Oh, no, impact between the two. Oh, and wow, that was Scapers having to do a bit of oh no, there's Alex Bennett that's gone into the, oh no. Let's get a replay from Alex's perspective. Oh, he hit the back of the Mayana Ferrari and brought with him the 221 Porsche as well. That was, I don't know, because that number is not on my list immediately. Oh, what a shame. That's the, that's the nature when you've got this many people on a grid. Look at the damage to the front of Alex Bennett's car. Ooh, wow, and that's Flavian Foku. He's crossing Solwyd into that first thing. That's going to hurt. Look, and damage on the back of the car as well for Alex Bennett. That is absolutely mad. But keeping an eye on our front runners, Holstein now 1.2 seconds ahead of Caroni, and looks like Klima's gotten into his stride. He gained a couple of tenths on Jared Caroni last time around, so the Alpine Geodesic Porsche looks very set to get involved with Claudio Klima. Those two Geodesic Porsches have spread apart by about 1.5 seconds, a little bit under. I will try and give attention to those at the back. I'll try my best here. We've lost two. We've lost Anthony Washington and Joe Myers. Unfortunately, they are in the pit and essentially out of the race. But it's very difficult for me as a solo commentator to keep up with 50 cars at the best of times. There's Einar Marinsky keeping pressure on Mike Drexler up front. That is for 5th position. Oh, the Ferrari getting very, very deep, coming through the Bilstein curve. There is Dan Sasolski, the Geodesic Porsche. And looks like they're going to settle themselves down into the rhythm at the moment. Keeping an eye on Klima then, because that gap has been, I think it's been steadily shrinking between himself and Jared Caroni. There he is, the Satellite Racing 113 Ferrari. 49.4 for Holstein. 49.4 for Caroni. 49.5 for Klima. 49.9 for Sasolski. Oh, there's a change of position going on. Oh my goodness me. How the hell am I going to keep up with all this? That is Andrew Langham Service and Eamon Imrie having a great old scrap with Falavi and Foku ahead of them. The Geodesic BMW jumps across the nose of the AOR yellow BMW to get the inside line for the first turn. That could be getting very, very close. Flavian Foku in the 291 VEC Sim Racing. I mean, it doesn't have the kind of usual green element of the colour scheme. Not that it's a bad looking car. Oh, Evan Imrie still on the inside. And oh no, what's happened to... Oh, nothing's happened to Caspar Reed. I thought he was stationary. Nope, that's his incident count that's on 0. I believe he is our RAM leader. He's gained a couple of positions since I last looked at him. That's mainly because Alex Bennett has fallen through the field. He may well have picked up a... oh, what's happened to you? Oh, you've just opted to have your pit stop now. That's one of our debutantes. Yeah, it's difficult to... That's the one downside of the geodesic colour scheme. Is difficult to tell, or difficult for me to tell any damage on the car. Oh, Holstein! What's just happened to you? You've literally just lost the... He had a slowdown penalty. Jared Caroni capitalised on the fact that Holstein's gone wide somewhere and has now been thrown into the clutches of Claudio Klima. Well, that's completely spiced up the top. You could have... Well, I did start to think that Holstein was going to start to run off with it, but no, Jared Caroni's got other ideas. So, now as we come around to complete lap 5, Jared Caroni for Satellite Racing leads Christoph Holstein for Comrade, who is ahead of the Geodesic 1110 Porsche of Claudio Klima. They are about 2 seconds, makes no difference to the Geodesic number 1 of Dan Sasolski. Drexler in the 189 Huber Racing Esports Ferrari is doing his best to keep up with our champion. Then is Einar Marinsky for Mayella HCR Scuderia. Our Pro-Am god at the moment is Callum McFall. The 205 Ferrari was really mixing it up with the pros earlier on, but it's now kind of gotten into his kind of rhythm, but still setting amazing pace. 150.0 last time around. There's Parkinson, the Geodesic Ferrari. Fellow debutant Timo Gorlek Oh, what's happened to McNinch? He's been overtaken by Scapers. Nothing to worry about there. You're in two different classes. The V3 Racing 196 Ford of Mike Scapers has gone up into 10th position. 3.2 behind Timo. Now again, nothing actually prevents Liam from overtaking Mike again if he gets the opportunity to. As mentioned, it does make a difference to the team standings, but not to the individual standings, as they're not in the same class. So it's up to him whether he does anything about it. Oh, Einar is getting very close, well, remaining very close to Drexler. That's the view from the... oh, what's happened to Gibbons? What has happened to Gibbons? You've lost a couple of positions. That's what happened to Gibbons. He went too deep with the Schumacher S's. He's pulled over and had to let a couple of people go. So he's lost. That's Ivor Costa and Darkin Ekelin. That's gone past him. Oh, Ronnie. It's all or nothing with you, I'm afraid. I mean, Ronnie did a brilliant job at Watkins Glen, but unfortunately has just not been able to get that consistency he needs. But look at the pack that we've got here. I'll do my best to keep up with the battles throughout the field. Oh, speaking of, what has just happened to Daniel Lindholt? Oh, he's had a big problem. Oh, that going backwards is never normally a good idea. What's that? Oh, the tail just completely let go. Oh, and he got a big old kick at the back. Oh, two of them. Oh, no. That is not good news. Unfortunately, I didn't see who it was, and he's in the pit. His day is done. That is a shame for Daniel Lindholt. Oh dear. Jumping back up to our lead three then. Now also we'll try and keep an eye through the field. I will primarily look at the lead. I will try and look at the lead of all three classes as well. But the race lead is where I will try and keep a focus. But we'll always endeavour to look at where the battles are. So Caroni still keeping Holstein for company. Klima not far behind. They're lapping within a tenth of a second of each other, all three of them. There's Sosowski. Marinsky has gotten ahead of Drexler when we weren't looking. There's Callum McFall, our Pro-Am leader. Oh my God, he leads. He's got three cars in between himself and second place Pro-Am Liam McNinch. Those three being Nathan Parkinson, Timo Gorlick, and Mike Scapers. So he separates himself by, wow, 6 odd seconds between himself and... Oh, what's happened to Foku? He's had a bit of trouble. What has happened to Flavian? Oh, it's Evan Imre that looked a little bit slow. And that put him out of... that's Richard Fletcher that had a look. Wasn't able to capitalise on it, though. Oh, never mind. There goes Richard Fletcher again. And I think Flavian had to let him go. Rano Luke's just lost a spot, I think, to Roberto Edouard, beg your pardon. Yep, there is the 161 Sim Racing Channel white Porsche that's trying to make his way through the field. Didn't have a particularly successful qualifying in his maiden race in this season. Oh, that is Flavian Foku, I think. That just blinked out of existence. Where's our AM leader? Where are you? There he is, Casper Alreed. That's Sarah Dove he's on the tail of. Oh, Richard Fletcher and just as I looked away, Richard Fletcher and Flavian Foku swapped round, but then Flavian Foku is lagging a bit, so it will cause my numbers to go completely bonkers for a few moments whilst he does that. No one's far particular. Look at this. 7 laps done, nearly 15 minutes of racing, which, okay, isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, but look how close this pack is. Let's have a quick look at what the biggest gap we've got is, out of curiosity. It looks like it's about 2.9. Oh, 3.6, which is down here in 41st. Craig Parsons off the back of Marco Zelenika. And outside of that, it's that gap there from... Oh! Steady on, Mike. Mike Scapers in the V3 Ford behind Timo Gorlick in the 188 Geodesic Porsche. Quick check in with our top three again. They are separated by 1.3 seconds, the top three. Ferrari leads Porsche. Lots of time, lots of strategy to deal with. And Stefan... Oh, never mind. Oh, that's not a good place to find a Ford. Well, it's not a good place to find anybody. That's... Oh, and a tap on the tail That's not Evan Imre. I'm not entirely sure who that was. And there's been trouble again with Darkin Ekelund. So let's see what's happened to him as he's trying to rejoin the track. Oh, and is that 228? That's the BMW letting him back through. So, of course, there's not been another incident. He's just lost a lot of positions trying to recover from that incident. But well played to the BMW. Unfortunately, I didn't identify who it was. They're letting him back through. Oh, Fletcher, what have you done? You've just lost into a couple of positions. That's Karen Van Eyck and Morgan Velanese that has gone through. He's still on the inside, trying to do something against the 221 Porsche. So comes through turn 4. Oh, that's close. Let's have a look at the incident limits. As Mr. Fletcher still not wanting to give up on that particular spot, down to turn 6. And that's surely his job done. Yep, as Morgan Velanese slots in behind. Incident limit. Mike Drexler's on 7. They have 20, I believe it is. Oh, Philippe Salinar. A very reshaping BMW. The 348 Big Blocks Racing BMW is in 34th and he's on 11 incident points. Jeremy Hoppe, who we didn't see in qualifying for VC Sim Racing. The 282 BMW is on 8. So no one with a catastrophically high count, but some with... oh, we've lost Scott McCracken. Oh no, he was one of the Pro-Am kind of front runners. Actually, it was quite a while ago we lost him, so I'm not going to jump back through the replay to try and find it. What happened to him? Actually, can I do that? Let's jump. Hold on. Let's get Scott. I have to go back a little bit further than that. Okay, so let's see what happened to Scott McCracken. That is the 228 BMW of... I need to identify who that is. Oh, 3 into 1 doesn't go. Oh, and that's a tap from the geodesic BMW. That's what damaged the rear. That didn't look like that was that big an impact, but look how that's causing the car to just crab around everywhere. Did Scott just pull it over? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. That car does not want to steer straight whatsoever. Yep, he just pulled over and had enough of that. It didn't look like it was that big an impact. But that, unfortunately, was what caused the end of Scott McCracken's race. Is it the 298? No, it's not 298. Who is 228? I need to figure out who that is. Anyway. So another car lost from the race. That is 6 cars gone. Joe Myers, Anthony Washington, Alex Duplessis, Daniel Lindholt, Ronnie Gibbons is out. Oh dear. I did say it was all or nothing with Mr. Gibbons, unfortunately. And Scott McCracken, the latest victim of this race. Our top 3 still fairly close together. 6/10 separates Holstein to Caroni. Caroni, well, it's almost the quickest of the top 3. Now they will be kind of, they will be pacing themselves to a minor degree, but they're just pushing at 95% instead of 110%. It's post pit stop. You'll see, the foot pinned to the floor. Who's our next battle? Saradov. Car number 200, the AOR Hime Ford, is in a bit of a battle with Paolo Martins and the 299 Phoenix Motorsports Ferrari. And Marvin Sleeman in the 241 Lion Racing Porsche. And right behind them is the AM leader, Casper Arlead. What's happened to Andrew Langham's service? He's lost a position to the wounded Alex Bennett. Well, Alex is still getting in the sub-151s, despite the fact that Ferrari's reshapen. So he's not giving up on that one. Oh, it was a hardware issue for Mr. Gibbons. Oh, what's happened to Richard Fletcher? He's side by side with Morgan Velanese. That's very, very close. Now again, that's AM versus Pro-Am. That's not going to help them in their respective championship battles, but they've essentially got nothing to lose by him. Well, they can pitch each other into the wall. That's a fairly catastrophic thing to lose. And Morgan Velanese is right in amongst the AMs there. There's Merlin Cooper right on his tail. And the 369 VC Racing Porsche. And there's Darkin Ekelund. The 202 V3 Racing Ford. And his day not going too well, unfortunately. Reaches the Meek. It's on the tail of Thomas Coombe. There is Canoe Martinson, started from near the back of the field. And Canute's known for getting a very, very low, or remaining very low on the instant count. He's already got 6 to his name, so it's not gone brilliantly well for the 220 AOR yellow Ferrari. We were looking at Sarah Dove before, weren't we? There we go. There's that battle of 4. That's the back from the... That's looking back from Paolo Martins, the 299 Phoenix Motorsports Ferrari. Oh, no! You can just hear how the tyres are screaming as they come through the Vidal chicane. It looks like Sluman's got a pretty decent run on him. Oh, yep, he's sticking to the slipstream. The Ferrari is staying very much to the inside line, trying to defend into turn 1. Can he slow it down? Oh, now Marvin bailed on that. You could see he went to turn in. But Martins, well, was pretty comprehensive in his defence of that. Who's that? It's Casper Alreed that's right behind Sarah Dove. Oh, and he brings with him some friends as well. Oh, what's happened to Nicolin? Now, Darker Nicolin and Morgan Valanes have been locked in that fight for a while. That's for 29th overall. I couldn't begin to tell you where that is in the Pro-Ams. Oh, says there was a lagger behind them. Oh dear, that is Thomas Coombe. The V3 Racing Red 371 Ford. So V3 with a member in all 3 categories, the Pro, the Pro-Ams and the AMs. Fair play to you. Who shall we have a look at? Ivo Costa. He's quite out of position. We've seen him lead, actually. We've seen him lead races before now. So he's right the way down there in 14th position. I believe he's the last of our pro runners. At the moment, he is indeed. Oh, with the exception of Roberto Edouard, who's down in 23rd. There he is. That is Flavian Foku he is chasing, with Victor Matios already behind him. Let's have a quick look at our leaders. It looks like our top guys, which is Jarek Aroni and Christoph Holstein, have lost. Well, lost a little bit. That's the view from Caroni. But there is the geodesic Porsche of Claudio Klima. He's fallen about a second behind the top 2. So once again, we should have the. It looks like Claudio Klima is going to. Jarek Aroni is going to have to really fight for it. We've seen him in the past just run off into the distance, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it this time. It's Flavian Focus just losing a position to Roberto Edouard. Oh, Merlin Cooper and Valanades have just swapped round as well. Again, apologies for the fact that I will jump around the field quite a lot, but there's a lot of people to jump around on. There's quite a few people, as you can see, in a right old battle. Oh, Holstein, less than 3/10 behind the Ferrari. That is, of course, a 4-race lead. That's what round when Mr. Holstein got himself a slowdown penalty. And those penalties hurt if you get them in the opening laps. As the iRacing tells you to slow down based upon your delta. Well, unless you have a delta, it just only guesses and will guess a really excessive penalty compared to where it really should be. You do it in the opening laps. And at the moment, Holstein just holding station behind Jarek Aroni. But whilst they do that, that is allowing Klima to slowly but surely reel them back in. And that battle behind them, Sosowski and Marinsky, has still raging on. Those two have crossed swords many, many, many times in the past and are still doing so now. And yep, Claudio Klima has indeed reeled in both of the cars ahead of him. He was the quickest of the top 3, barely. So little between them. The fastest lap of the race so far is a 1:49.127 by Mr. Holstein, but they're getting in the 50s at the moment, high 49s, low 150s. So, they've done their "can I break away from you" stage, and now just kind of hitting their deltas, hitting the braking points, etc., etc. Just concentrating on the long game. As Alex Bennett has lost another spot to Andrew Langham's service, and unfortunately the downward trend for the Conrad Tepper Alliance number 250 is going to continue. There's Evan Imrade already behind. All credit to Alex, he has not given up. There's your AM leader, actually. Casper Allred is right in that pack. He's been there all race long, actually, or in amongst that gap. in amongst that pack, rather, if I can get the right words out, all race long. So excellent start for you. Our Pro-Am leader, Callum McFall, up in 7th position, still chasing Mr. Drexler. About 6.5 tenths between them. There's Nathan Parkinson, who I think has been slowly edging up to them. The top 3 still pretty close. There's the Porsche of Christoph Holstein, keeping the pressure on. These guys have raced against each other so many times, so many laps and so many different circuits. They kind of know what they are going to do. But Jarek Aroni was one to absolutely, spring the surprise move. Who is that? Is that Ben Hitchcock they're catching up to? Nope. Who are they catching up to? There's a back marker there. There's one of the geodesic beamers. But who is it? I can't see. Oh, we've got some movement further down. Flavian Foku and Roberto Edouard. Oh, the Porsche getting lively. And also, Victor Matios and Kevin Van Eyck, a swap round. And with them, Rano Luke, Richard Fletcher and Morgan Valanace. All in that very, very close pack. Who is that they're catching up to? It's one of the AM geodesic beamers, but I'm not entirely sure who. Uh-oh, Jamie Smith's in trouble. That's not a normal line to be taking. Over the pit lane entrance. I've gone back a little bit too far, but never mind. So that... What's he done here? Oh, that's what he did. Slam on the anchors and bounced back over that rumble strip for our AM champion, whose race gets even worse. And there goes Chris Yardley in the ever-grinning Ford. Oh dear. Have we identified who that BMW is yet? No. Is the honest answer to that. We'll see when we get close to the car number. Now, that BMW will have to jump out of the way. He'll be under blue flag conditions. He doesn't have to jump off the circuit. Well, we can, but he just has to not hold up the leaders, and very nicely done. I still didn't get to see the car number on him. That is 311. I think that's 311. Can't be, because I don't have a 311 in my list. Ah! Why have you given me the UI? Go away. Why? Don't start giving me technical problems now. You've been fine all... like I said, I did have some technical difficulty earlier before the stream began. Hopefully that gremlin's not coming back. Well, whoever the back marker is has stayed very much out of the way. Stephen Norman? Nope. Don't know. Oh, Casper Ulreed is having a fight with Andrew Langham's service. That is for 18th overall. And there you saw Alex Bennett and Evan Imre very close together behind them. A decent defence there from Casper for PCTC Motorsports Red. Oh, Rano Luke and Morgan Valanace are having a fight as well. The V3 Racing Porsche moving up a spot. Still an almighty great pack of cars. That canoe at the back of that pack. Yes, it is. Staring into the tailpipe of Darko Nikolan. That is for 30th in all. Still a lot of positions to sort out. McNinch, our Pro-Am pole sitter, has got... he's been overtaken by Christopher Pfeffer. So second place in the Pro-Am... No, beg your pardon, that's actually third in the Pro-Ams, as Flavian Foku has lost a spot to Roberte Edouard. Although, he's having a crack at him again. He wants... oh, no! Oh, well caught, Mr. Foku. The VEC Sim Racing squad clearly teaching rallycross tactics. Well, that is going to allow Kevin Van Eyck to slip through on the inside of turn 13 up to the Vidal chicane, but the BMW still got the inside line, and no, Flavian Foku lets that one go. Nicely done. Kevin Van Eyck up into 23rd. And that is second in the AM class. Nicely done, good sir. Eno Marinski is still right with Dan Sasolski. So they've been pretty close all race long. The number 1 Porsche now chasing. It definitely says 311 unless I'm going really, really blind. I must be going blind because I can't find it. Oh, it's that's why I couldn't find him. It's Alex Duplessis. He came back out. No wonder I couldn't find him. So fair play. I mean, he's a long way. Oh, is that someone flying off the road? No. Or if it was, it wasn't someone putting a lap on him. That's why I couldn't find who it was, because I thought Alex Duplessis was out. But no, he's a long way down. He's 7 laps down on the leader because he was in the pits for 12 minutes. But out he comes again. It's always worth doing because you never know who's going to retire from the race. He just has to hope that people retire, more than 7 laps from the end. Otherwise, he won't benefit from it. Who shall we have a look at? Saradov, once again, still in this whacking great big pack behind Marvin Sluman. Looks like Paolo Martins has managed to break away from it. He is 9 tenths ahead. There he is. Yep, he's a bang on a second now. Ahead of Marvin Sluman, who's got this chasing pack that includes Saradov, Casper Al-Reed, Andrew Langham Service. There you can just see Alex Bennett at the top of the shot. Evan Imre is at the back of the pack. There's a big old gaggle of cars looking to, well, they've been having a hell of a scrap for a long time now. And look at that. Look how early Marvin commits to that defensive line. He's essentially going to conga everybody onto that inside line. Saradov jumps to the outside. The Casper already had gone to that line. Side by side for the Ford and the Porsche. Or the Ford and the Porsche. I was going with that sentence. Saradov inside line. Oh, with turn 2. Can't you get the drive she needs? See there. She's going to have the inside for turn 3. Oh, bit of a lock-up then from Sluman. Tail's going to get a little bit lively. Saradov sweeps around the outside of turn 4. And is going to claim that spot. But is Casper O'Ree going to try and follow suit? That's the view from the nose of the AM leader. They've just seen the Ford and the Porsche swap place. Very, very close. Close enough to light his cigarette off the back of the exhaust fumes from Marvin Sluman's car. Not immediate danger from Andrew Langham's service or Alex Bennett doing a good job in that wounded Ferrari of hanging on to this pack. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing pit stops in the next kind of 10 laps or so. We're on lap 18 of a scheduled 44. Originally was 45, but that count has come down one. Evan Imre thinking about an inside move on Bennett, but doesn't go for it. As a reminder, this is a timed race. It's 1 hour 20 minutes. It is not a lap count, so the software we use will try and predict how many laps we're going to do. And will generally scale downwards. Casper Al-Reed once again looking to make a move. Oh, well, keeping the pressure at least on Marvin Sluman. Doesn't make a move as yet. It's amazing these guys have been in that pack for so long. Oh, that's Foku and Valanese again. Ooh, side by side through the Vito chicane. Oh, someone's had that wheat mix for breakfast. Richard Fletcher enjoying that battle ahead of him. Look at that, and that's Foku that's been shoved off the line. Thank you very much. I'll have that, says the privateer 344 Ferrari. And Foku trying to do something about it. There's Rano Luke and the V3 Porsche. Can he make a move on Foku? Nope. Oh, Foku getting very, very close to the back of Fletcher. And, I think it was a little bit of a touch there. Nothing too drastic, but there's several people that are in double figures of incident points now, of which Foku is one of them. Oh, that's not ideal for Richard Fletcher. And there goes Renault Luke as well on the outside of turn 4. And right behind, you saw Darka Nicolin with his small entourage, Canu Martinson and Regis Lamique in that particular pack. All Holsteins closing in again. Now under half a second between the Comrade Porsche and the Satellite Racing Ferrari. Of course, they will constantly concertina. I'm also looking at the gap. Every time we look at this pack, Dan Sosowski and Nina Marinsky in their battle for fourth don't seem any further down the road either for or against. Now, Jared Caroni was the quickest of that pack, barely. He was quicker than Holstein by a mighty 8,000ths of a second. And we have our first, what I suspect is scheduled pit stop. I thought we'd see them soon. And Nathan Parkinson for Geodesic comes in the 155 Ferrari. He was around about a 8th or 9th or so. Oh, Alex Bennett's lost the spot. Oh no, that's why he's coming in. Now he could be there a while. It really depends on what repairs he has to perform. Now, this will give us an idea of what a scheduled pit stop, or how long a scheduled pit stop will take. Oh, Canutes, what's happened to you? You've overtaken... Oh no, never mind. Nothing's happened to you. It's because Dark and Ekeland's come in. So then... Nathan Parkinson is back out. Oh my goodness, that's close. That's Flavien Foku. Bit of a touch between the BMW and the Ferrari, but nothing too major. 41.1 loss. Nothing too bad. So at least I know what to expect. Oh, Holstein again on Dark and Ekeland. No, completely wrong person. Jared Caroni. Here's Mike catching Timo, you bet he is. And our AM leader is having a fight with Marvin Sleeman. That's for 16th. Side by side into the Schumacher S's. There's room to do it there. Oh, but that's put Ulrich offline. Here comes Langham's service. He's nose ahead of the AM leader. Oh, what a move by the Geodesic 214 BMW. Lovely, well timed, sir. Foku has lost the position to Parkinson. Well, that's not really a surprise. The Pro Ferrari is looking to go, but that's Renault Luke. It's capitalising on that as well for V3. Oh, what a move there! Flavien Foku's not having any of that. Lovely scrap. Oh, no contact! Oh, Flavien Foku tried to return to the racing line. The Porsche was still in it. Oh no, that's Renault Luke and Flavien Foku in trouble. And that's a very, very heavily damaged Flavien Foku. Renault Luke is still stationary. I suspect his day is done. Yep, he is gone. Back to the pits. That's another one that's fallen foul of the limit. Andrew Langham's service is absolutely, he's wriggling around. I'm not sure why. He hasn't been involved in this as far as we know. That's Casper Ulrich that's still right in this fight. And he's giving it. He's giving it as good as he gets. Oh, bit of a punch in the face there from Langham service to Ulrich. Coming through like it or not. And that's allowed Evan Imre through as well. Lovely scrap there. Oh, and as Evan Imre just manages to secure that 18th spot. As Stefan was asking, has Mike Scapers caught Timo Gorlick? Yes, he has. Just 0.3 of a second between the two. Mike's been on average about 0.2 of a second quicker than the Geodesic Porsche for quite some time now. No one in the top 23 has been in the pits yet, but plenty of time for that to change. And Jürgen Kleiber is in. Flavien Foku has no, he drove back, he didn't teleport back, so he might be there a while, but he's on 15 incident points now due to that. Oh, Hopper, he's on 18. The VEC Sim Racing 282 BMW's got to be very, very careful. That's Jamie Smith, the AM champion, on his inside, coming through the Dunlop turn. And the BMW just lets the Ford go, I think, at that moment. We could see our first victim of the incident limit, and Renault Luke has Renault Luke we saw involved in that incident. He is not happy, I suspect. I don't expect to see him back on track. But then I didn't expect to see Alexis Duplessis back on track. Again, I'm assuming that's how you say it. And unless anyone tells me otherwise, that's what I'm running with. Where did Gorlick go? Oh, there he is. I went to the wrong Michael. I was like, hang on, he was being challenged a minute ago. He still is. And, 0.004 of a second quicker was the V3 Racing Ford over the Geodesic Porsche. So that is a battle for 7th. That is very much alive. What's happened to Richard Fletcher? Oh, that's Canute Martin around the outside of turn 2. And the AOR yellow 220 Ferrari has got that position. Nicely done, Canute. Regis Lamique in the background of that. Holstein is still challenging for the lead. You're still keeping the pressure, I should say, for the lead. Our poleman in the 109 Comrade Gaming Porsche. Oh, they're using every available inch. I mean, that just shows you, even though they may well still be managing their time, they're still pushing pretty damn hard. Oh, Scapers is getting very, very close to the tail of Timo Gorlick. Oh, he needs a good drive out of here. And unsurprisingly, he gets one. Let's have a look at the lap times again. I imagine they're going to be nearly identical. Yeah, 150.4 for both Gorlick and Scapers. And again, Mike's a little bit too far back to make a move. Timo just getting enough traction when he needs it to fend off the mighty Scapers. Ooh, Matthias and Van Eyck. That's a battle in the AM class. That is for second, beg your pardon, in the AM class at the moment. As Casper O'Reed is about 6 seconds down the road from these two. So a nice battle there for the AM podium. Oh, who's that coming out of the pits? That must be... I have no idea who that is coming out of the pits at the moment. But it isn't... is it Kleiber? No, Hitchcock. Yes, Ben Hitchcock. In the 366 VSR Alpha Ferrari. And as mentioned, he'll be under blue flags. He will have to jump out of the way. He will not get a choice about that one. Oh, Scapers again! What is he able to do? He's surely not going to try something into the VDOL. There's not any real braking zone there, and well, Timo's not prepared to let him either. Big statement of intent from the Porsche. He returns to the racing line so not to compromise his own route through it. Mike not thinking about an undercut either. I didn't wonder whether he was going to try to sort of come into the pits. He seems to have the edge on pace just about over the Porsche, but he's not really able to use it anywhere. Again, I'm keeping an eye on the incident limit. Jeremy Hoppe quite a bit in the lead of that. Ino Marinsky's on 14 as well, so he can't take too many risks. Whereas Jeremy Hoppe, if he goes off track, he's had it. Still, the Ford chases the Porsche for 8th overall. That's our closest battle we've got up towards the top. In the Pro-Ams, there's a decent battle here for... Oh, hang on, before we have a look at that, Victor Matios is in the LM Connection to 304. Porsche is coming for his stop. Saradav and Panda Martins. The AOR he may forward on the back of the Phoenix Motorsports 299 Ferrari. And what is that for in class? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in class. Our Pro-Am leader is Callum McFall. Still up in 7th, a little bit on his own now. He's at 1.9 off the back of Drexler and at 2.5 off the back of that battle. And actually, Callum was slightly quicker than Timo and Mike Scapers, so he hasn't got anything to immediately worry about from those two, unless of course he falls foul of the mighty curbs. Pro-Am poleman, there he is. Liam Lynch is still chasing Christopher Pfeffer. You can see in the VSR 263 Ferrari. So they're involved in a very good scrap. Oh, Mike again. I just look at the gaps. That's what I primarily look at. That's how jumping around between people. I'm mainly looking at the timings on my other monitor. So when I see one that is really close, as Mike was to Timo when I jumped to him, there was under 0.3 of a second. He'll close in a bit. Again, unless he makes a hell of a lunge, he really closes in on braking. But that being the heaviest braking zone on the circuit, just Mike needs Timo to make a mistake out of that final turn, really. He doesn't fancy a lunge into that turn. Oh, Langham's service is in. So that is the Geodesic 214 BMW. Oh, Holstein! Oh, from second in the race! The 109 Comrade Gaming Porsche. So he'd fallen a little bit off the back of Coroni, and there, the tail just let go when he came through turn 6. Oh, just kept that one out of the wall, but lost a colossal amount of time. Lost about 12 seconds in all. And, oh my goodness, right behind, that's Drexler and Callum McFall. As also in the pits is Valanace. There goes Langham Service. Big old rev of the engine from Morgan Valanace. Is he going to get going? There he goes. And Saradov, Panel Martin still involved in their battle. Escapers and Timo very close as a tenth of a second as they're working their way through. Where are they? That's the Ford curve. Now I'm told drivers don't tend to like having a lunge into the Dunlop, which I find a little bit intriguing. Actually, no, they've just gone through Bilstein and are heading towards the Vidal. And still, no, Mike is just not able to get the extra pace when he needs it. And again, the Porsche just gets a great traction out of that final turn. Unsurprisingly, Holstein is in. He didn't look like he hit the wall, so it shouldn't be an exceedingly long pit stop from him. Oh! We've lost Callum... No, we haven't lost Callum McFall. Don't do that to me! And there we go. Then that was half a second by the time Mike and Timo had got to that first turn. So again, the Porsche are doing everything it needs just to keep Mike behind. But whilst they're doing that, they're falling further and further away from those they're fighting with. Marvin Sluman is in, along with our AM leader, Casper Allreed. So the PCDC red BMW, along with the Lion Racing 241 Porsche. Oh, what's happened to Jerry? Oh no, Jerry! Jersey, rather. Well, I'm sure you've been called worse. Oh, again, we've seen that curb bite someone. So he's overdone it. He's caught too much curb at the Vidal chicane. He's now going to have to bounce over. Oh, he came in. So no, he's not bouncing over that curb at all. He's opting for now for his pit stop. We're just over the halfway stage, so nothing wrong with that. Where did that put Holstein? There he is in 16th position. Can you go on board with the battle with Mike? Of course you can. That is how it looks. Oh my God, that's a lot. That's a big fly collection for Mike Scapers. Oh, and they have got a lot of traffic ahead of them as well. That I wondered if that was a BMW wanting to get out of the way, but it's a little bit too far back. Well, the battle is too far behind him for really for that to be. Whoa, Mike! Oh, why'd you pick now? As we get on board with you, you decided to come in the pits. Now, Mike is finally fed up of being stuck behind that Porsche. Oh, Sasolski's in as well, along with Callum McFall. So another 3 cars have come in. So I'm going to keep an eye on Timo then, as he's gone past the 342 BMW. That is a Jürgen Kleiber for Frederik Hecker. Carrying on his merry way. And, oh, what's happened to Martins? Nothing. He's come in the pits. So Saradov has now been let loose. He'll have quite a bit of free air. She jumps up to 8th because there's 5 cars in the pits at the moment. Or a number of cars in the pits, I should say. So that's going to let Holstein back up into 11th. Sasolski down to 9th. So a decent stop for him. We're looking at between 40 and 42 seconds pit lane loss. There is Saradov, as previously mentioned. Lots of people coming in the pits then. Paolo Martins, as mentioned. Merlin Cooper's come in from the for VC. Oh, there's another one. That is Philippe Salinar for Big Blocks Racing. Anybody else? Nope. Looks like the rest of the field are minding their own race at the moment. Who should we have a look at? Oh, Paolo Martins and Jeremy Smith very close together. And the AM champion just manages to edge out the Phoenix Motorsports Ferrari. Hanging on to 23rd, although Jamie's not been in yet. So you'll have to think about that. Oh, Ivor Costa is right with Liam McNinch. And our 2 top drivers, Coroni and Klima. And Marinsky. The top 3 all come in at the same time. Does Drexler? Yep. Top 4. Top 5. So, Timo is in. Let us see whether... Oh, there goes number 6 and 7. Saradav, is she going to follow suit? Is she going to follow the pit lane conga line? Nope, she's doing something completely different. There is Sasolski. Now, I have no question that Jarek Aroni is going to retain the lead, which he does. That's the 312 Ferrari. That is Steve Norman. So, unsurprisingly, Caroni did not lose the lead, and Holstein's coming past people in the pits. He's back up into 6th now, as Roberto Edouard and Kern Van Eyck are also in. Saradav up to 3rd as a result of her contra strategy. Canute is also passing people. He's up to 12th, but I'm sure people are going to ask, where on earth is Mr. Scapers? He is in 11th, right behind Parkinson and Timo Gorlick. So he was not able to make a difference, and for his trouble, he's got Nathan Parkinson in the way. So that's really going to shake up that battle for what is currently 9th, but Saradav ahead of them has not pitted. A lot of people in the pits now, pretty much everybody else except for Canute Martinson and Saradav. The only people in the top part of the field that have yet to come into the pit, and a few people have got to come in as well. Coming again, rather. So there's no point in me looking at those that are jumping through the pits, because my timing screen's going utterly bonkers trying to keep up with them. Oh, Mike. Good grief. That's the view from his car. Well, they cleared the fly collection off. That's awfully nice of them. So that's Nathan Parkinson, not Timo Gorlick, that we're looking at the moment. But will this be an opportunity for Timo to try and run away? That's the main thing. Oh, big face full of dust for Mr. Scapers. He's been mighty when it comes to timing on doing things. He's backed out of that, and I'm not surprised. In the Vidal chicane, you're not really likely to do anything there. Ooh, I wonder if he thought about a move on the final turn. The Saradav is in. Oh, wow! What on earth happened to Nathan Parkinson there? What on earth did he do? Oh, the tail got loose as he was coming through that final turn. And unsurprisingly, Canute Martinson's brought his car in as well. That's the last cars that did not pit. So that's dropped Nathan Parkinson about 2 seconds off the back of Mike and Timo. So once again, they cross swords for 8th place. Let's have a quick review on who is where. Jarek Caroni leads the race by 4.4 seconds now. Once again, Caroni playing the strategy brilliantly well. There in the background, you just saw newcomer Alexis Duplessis. Alex Duplessis. I will get that right. Oh, change of position. Canute Martinson. That's because he hasn't come out of the pit yet. That's why. And down to 25th. That's Victor Matias right next to him. Is the yellow Ferrari going to beat the blue Porsche? Nope. Looks like Matias is going to have the inside for the next turn. Canute still side by side. Nicely done. Oh, lovely drive for Canute Martinson, keeping himself in contention for what is 25th overall. And Matias, I think, just let that one go. But at the moment, keep an eye on this battle. That is for 8th place now. Nicely done. Oh, bit of dust there in the face of Scapers from Timo Gorlick. So as mentioned, Jarek Caroni leads by 4.3. Then Sasolski is up to 3rd now. 4 seconds behind Klima. Then it's Einar Marinsky. Holstein, after his issues, is in 5th position now. Michael Dressler on 17 incident points, so he's got to be careful. He's only got 3 more to use. Not that you want to use them. In 6th. Then it's Callum McFall, our Pro-Am leader. He is about 15 seconds ahead of his classmates. So an excellent drive for the Privateer 205 Ferrari. And it is Timo Gorlick that has got Mike Scapers for company and has done forever. Nathan Parkinson, who was in that particular battle, Now 2.5 seconds behind it. 11th, Sylvia Moraine. 2nd in the Pro-Ams. 9 seconds behind Nathan Parkinson. As mentioned, about 15 behind Callum. And it's Liam McNinch, our Pro-Am pole sitter. Still in 3rd, so still an excellent run for him. He's got Ivo Costa for company. And it's Christopher Pfeffer in 14th. Sarah Dove has completely cleared Paola Martins, who she was fighting with, up in 15th position, so a decent run for her. And Paola Martins in the Phoenix Motorsports Ferrari has got Evan Imre for company. Battle for 16th going on between the Ferrari and the BMW. Marvin Sluman for Lion Racing, the 241 Porsche, in 18th. Alex Bennett has got a lot of company there. That's Andrew Langham Service, who he'll want to fight off. And then our AM leader, debutant Casper Alreed. He's having a stonking race for PTDC Motorsports Red. Fellow debutant Roberto Edouard in 22nd in the Ferrari. Morgan Valanace, 23. And then just behind them, it's Karen Van Eyck with Kenny Martinson for company in 24th. Victor Matias in 26th. Darker Nicolan for V3 in 27th. Fletcher has got company there in 28th position with Regis Lamique and Merlin Cooper. Nice three-way battle there for 28th overall. There is Thomas Coombe. Now, as Alex Bennett and Andrew Langham Service side by side coming into the Vidal chicane, and Andrew Langham Service has bounced over the dust. Surely he's going to let the Ferrari go, and does indeed. He's still fighting him though, and that's allowed Casper. Well, Casper has actually fallen off the back of that battle. And he's having another crack at him. This is a battle for 19th overall. Around about 5th, I think. 5th or 6th. Possibly, yes, more than that. More like 7th or 8th in class. And Service is going to have the inside for the next two apexes. Can he force Alex wide? I think Alex has had to take repairs on his car. He was actually had no longer pit stop than anybody else. So the damage was obviously optional. He's opted not to run it. And through into 19th it goes Andrew Langham Service. Where were we? Morgan Van Eyck, 23. Karen Van Eyck in 24th at the moment. He is, I think, 3rd in the AMs. Let me just double check that. That's unfortunately not. He's actually 2nd in the AMs. So an excellent race for Karen Van Eyck. Kenny Martinson right behind him, as you can clearly see. Then Victor Matias in 26th. Darker Nicolan, 27. The privateer of Richard Fletcher in 28th with Regis Lamique 29, and Merlin Cooper in 30th. Thomas Coombe for V3 Red in 31. Yardley, the grinning Ford, in 32nd. There is Jersey, right with him in 33rd. Marcus Enanica right there in the Catrol Ford as well. Felipe Salinar, that reshaping BMW. Oh, Jamie Smith, no! Our RAM champion! As I was coming through the list, Jurgen Kleiber 36th and Stephen, I beg your pardon, Craig Parsons was behind him. Oh, he just drops it on the exit of the Ford curve. How apt. He is going again, but he's down in 38th now behind Kleiber and Parsons. Stephen Norman, 29th. And there's Ben Hitchcock, 40th. And Alex Duplessis is, he's not the last car running actually. Rano Luke spent nearly 14 minutes in the pits. So, but still running. So's that. That's the view for Mike Scapers on Timo. Surely now, as the Porsche nails himself to the inside line coming into turn 11. And Mike just cannot get the Porsche to compromise his exit. Thinks about an outside manoeuvre through the Bilstein curve. Brave, brave man. He is keeping the pressure and more on that Porsche. Thinks of the inside coming through the fast right under 13. Let's get on to the external view. That's what it is. Actually, to get on the chopper, it'll be even better. The Ford just noses ahead, but bails on the Vidal chicane. Oh, he got very loose coming through the Vidal chicane. All that hard work has just disappeared. There's Nathan Parkinson wanted to get back involved in that battle. Oh, goodness me, Mike. tried everything he had, but unfortunately it's backfired on him. And there's got to chase down team. He lost nearly a second on the Porsche as a result of that particular move. So he's now got to really close him down. And wow, the race has actually flown by. 20 minutes remain. An hour's racing has gone. 32 laps completed. Oh, Evan Imre and Paolo Martins on the final turn. Nicely done there from the AOR Yellow 222 BMW. But here comes the Phoenix Motorsports Ferrari. What can Paolo Martins do? Jumps in the outside line for that first turn. You've got to have a very, very good drive if you're going to do it. Or he's going to try and cut underneath. No. Doesn't get the traction he needs. Nicely defended there from Evan. Just parks that one on the apex. Job done for AOR Yellow. Oh, another. Oh, it's Casper Alreed and Roberto Edouard. That is for 21st. You know, doesn't really serve Alreed. Well, it doesn't actually serve either of them to have that battle. But Casper does have about. So he has a fairly comfortable lead between himself and second place Victor Matias of about 7 seconds. But the more they fight, the more that gap will just disappear. So he has got to bear that in mind. Let's catch up with Mike again, because we haven't looked at Mike for a while. But already he's back on Timo's case. Timo must be thinking, what do I have to do to get this Ford off my case? That's what Mike's got to see, and that's what Timo's got to deal with. Not really. Well, there was a little bit of a defensive move, almost impact between the two, but not quite. Goodness me, Mike's so close you could probably see Timo's underpants at that range, and Timo really defending brilliantly, not compromising his line too much into the next turn, but defending enough to keep the Ford at bay. But that's allowed Nathan Parkinson to get right involved as well. There he is, just half a second behind. Through into turn 6. Now the Ford curve. We've just seen Jamie Smith have some issues. Surely now. Well, how many times have I said surely now? Mike's just not able to overcome the mighty force that has been Timo Gorlick. And there you saw Mike try and get a decent drive from the exit of the Dunlop turn. Not able to get it done. Karen Van Eyck and Deacon Arklin have swapped position, as you can see on the overlay, but I'm keeping an eye on the V3 Ford. And he can't do it again. Brilliantly defended from Timo once again. But they don't have the benefit of time anymore. They can't just play the numbers game. They've got to get the moves done. Screaming through at turn 13 once again. And again, the V3 Ford is trying to get alongside the Porsche. He rather backfired on Mike last time. And he backs out of it. Oh, lovely shot from the blimp there. Take him around that final turn. The blimp's going to be too far away. Let's get on the chopper cam. And you can just see that's what 0.3 of a second looks like in these things. Oh, Marinsky has just lost a spot to Holstein, as they're not able to swap round. Oh, Holstein and Marinsky still having a fight. Oh no, he puts between the two. Oh, and that's Marinsky out. That was the final incident point for Eno Marinsky. He is out from 4th. Oh no, Holstein will hate that. Holstein will not be happy. You saw he slowed down, but there was nothing that could be done. It was such a minor touch, but it was enough to give Eno Marinsky that final point. Draxler is only 1 point away as well, so he's got to be very, very careful. Oh, that looked like Mike going a little bit wide. Has that given Nathan Parkinson a bit of a run? Less than 2:10 separates the Ford and the Ferrari. The geodesic Ferrari at the tail of that pack goes on the inside of the Dunlop turn, and that is Mike down into 9th. And Mike knew that one was done and didn't fight it. Nicely done for Nathan Parkinson. I think it's fair to say, though, that Mike has got the ability to close back in. So Porsche leads Ferrari, leads Ford. Geodesic 1-2 in this fight and V3 at the tail. So much can possibly change, though. What a shame for Einar Marinsky. It was... that's racing, unfortunately. That is the nature of the beast. Oh, my... A little bit deep into Vidal. You saw you had to get out of that. Whew, just about opportunity to catch my breath. And there, that's where Mike seems to be weakest. It is there that he just seems to lose that all-crucial bit of momentum. That's just because he can't get the power down as early as those ahead of him, obviously. Sounds like a pretty obvious statement, but that's just where he's losing out, because we've seen how he can just reel in those ahead of him throughout the rest of the lap. But it's just at that one moment, you would think that would be the prime opportunity, the biggest braking zone into turn one. It's just never quite close enough. And Mike has to be very careful as well. He's on 18 incident points. But it's taken till now, in the final 15 minutes, before we have lost a driver to the dreaded incident limit. Keeping very much an eye on this battle. Well, actually, Paolo Martins is in a great... Look at that! So this is 16th downwards. Paolo Martins, Langham Service, Alex Bennett. Sorry, Andrew Langham Service, beg your pardon. Alex Bennett, Marvin Sluman, Roberti Edouard, Morgan Valanace, and Casper Al Reed. You have representatives of all three classes in that pack. That's 16th to 22nd. Involved in that whacking great big scrap. Oh, Mike is very close to Nathan Parkinson again. And again, this is where Mike's been that little bit stronger than the geodesic pair. But that is, of course, allowing Timo to... Oh, dear! That didn't go well. That didn't go well for Mike. And that's put him on 19 incident points now. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Mike just backs off a little bit just to bring the car home. You know, whilst 9th isn't an ideal finishing position for him, 9th is still better than nothing. So that's really shaken up that battle. That's given the fight to Nathan Parkinson to take to Timo Gorlick. Will the geodesic squad implement any team orders? We're constantly told that they don't. And in fairness, I've not seen any evidence that they do. So I don't doubt that statement at all. It'll be interesting to see how that battle transpires. Oh, we've got some movement. Oh dear. What's happened to Edouard? Oh, wow! It all started with Paolo Martins. I think, and Roberto Edouard lost the position to Casper Alred at the same time that Paolo Martins had that big moment, and he's had another one down at turn one. Marvin Sluman's now through. This was the Paolo Martins train. That's Morgan Valanace right behind him. Oh, look at the top end of that. That's Andrew Langham Service on the inside of Alex Bennett. The Comrade Tepper Alliance Ferrari still on the inside of the Alpine Geodesic BMW. Oh, that's Marvin Sluman wanting to get involved in the Lion Racing Porsche behind. No, look at him, Artisan. Welcome to you. As Roberto Edouard has really fallen down. Has he got damage? Has he got a problem? We don't know. As Canute Martinson has flown past him. Oh, I don't know where to look. So many battles going on. There's the lead of that particular train. That's the 16th. Oh, side by side. That's Paolo Martins and Morgan Valanace. Morgan looking to make Paolo Martins' day even worse, and he's got a problem. He's let through Casper Alred as well. Paolo Martins' day going from bad to disastrous now. And that battle between Parkinson and Gorlick still continues. Mike is unfortunately 2.5 seconds behind it now, and may well just go into bring it home mode in the final 11 minutes of the race. Which would be a shame, because that's been such a great battle. And Ivor Costa is still with Liam McNinch as well. And that's not so much a battle, because again, you know, Ivo is in the pro category and Liam McNinch is in the pro-ams. And third in the pro-ams, I'll add. We had two debutantes in the podium of the pro-ams. Oh, I thought we lost our pro-am leader then. He's just lagged out. But keeping an eye also on this man's incident count. He's on 19. If he has one tiny off track, if the tail begins to let go, any problem whatsoever, and that Mike Drexler from 5th for Huber will vanish, and there is no coming back from it. There's no steward's inquiry can save you from that. No one is on 0, which I'm really not surprised about. Oh, Liam Whitninch and Ivo Costa have swapped round into the Dunlop time. I would imagine Ivo just let that one go. Nathan Parkinson still with Timo Gorlick. And if they come together, that of course will allow Mike to catch up with them. But looking at the lap times, Mike's been a good half a second off the back of these two. So it could well be that Mike could have caused damage to the underside of his car, bouncing over the gravel as he did, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's just backing it off a little bit. Is that Callum McFall? That's Callum McFall. He's been running in 6th, or up in that section of the race for so long. He's done brilliantly well, but is losing a bit of pace now. Not that he's got anything to worry about. Sylvia Moraine next in line as far as the program is concerned is 13 seconds down the road. So he could easily let Gorlick and Parkinson go without any particular loss. He's a privateer entrant, so he hasn't got any kind of team points to worry about. Not the case for those around him. Less than 9 minutes to go. It's going to be interesting to see what McFall does. He's being challenged by the Porsche. He's defending the inside line. He's braked very early though. Through goes the Porsche and through goes the Ferrari. Nicely done by Gorlick and Parkinson there. That could have been Callum McFall's way of letting them go whilst losing as little time as possible. If that was the case, and expect him to do the same for Mike. We'll see. Mike is 1.8 down the road from Callum at the moment. But if Callum's got problems, he lost about 2 seconds to Sylvia Moraine last lap around. And with there being about 5 laps left, he could well be in trouble by the end of the race if that is the case. Ooh, thought the tail was getting a bit light there for Callum. Oh, Morgan Van Aller's Marvin Sluman. That's for 18th. There is Casper L. Reed, still leading the AM class by, well, let's have a quick look, by about 16 seconds. So comfortably in the lead of the AMs. Oh, Matthias and Nicolin have swapped round. The V3 Ford has gone past the 304 Allen Connection Porsche. A fairly straightforward move. Oh, Valanaze is still right with Marvin Sleeman. Marvin is defending with everything he has got. They do not have long left. Might have mentioned that once or twice. There you can see on the overlay, 5 laps to go. Jared Caroni leads by 6.3 seconds now. Well, more than that, 6.5 seconds now. He had some early challenges, but post pit stop, he has not lost the lead. Well, in fact, he hasn't lost the lead since gaining it from Christoph Holstein after his slowdown penalty early on. That is Alex Bennett and Andrew Langham-Savage, you can see in that shot as well. So this train could well get quite a bit bigger. Marvin Sleeman defending very heavily on the inside. Here comes Valanace trying to outbrake the Online Racing 241, but doesn't get it done. Well, doesn't get it done this time, I should say. Mike has gotten past Callum McFall without losing any considerable time. So Callum did indeed let... Oh, Callum with a 154. He's got a problem. I cannot see that he lost 4 seconds letting Mike go. Sylvia Moraine is 8.5 seconds behind with 4 and a bit laps to go. There could be a Pro-Am lead change before the flag falls. That's going to be one to hang on to. Morgan Van Aller's Marvin Sleeman still very, very close. If I count right, that is for 9th, 8th or 9th in class. Oh, Drexler's gone. Mike Drexler is out. What happened to Mike? He's overcooked to somewhere. No, that looks okay. What's he done? Oh. Okay. Well, he's still saying he's on 19, so he may well have had a technical problem, but that is a Mike Drexler out from 5th. Oh, what a shame for Michael Drexler. But actually, Mike's back on Nathan Parkinson's case. Nathan's made a mistake somewhere. He's lost 2.5 seconds on Timo. So, still position changes to do. So, a couple of people. Mike is one of them. Ivor Costa's another on 19 incident points. So, we could still see more casualties of old. Stephen Norman has also fallen foul of it. We've lost Craig Parsons as well a little while ago. Whew. I'm rather warm keeping up with this lot. And Liam McNinch is still right with Ivor Costa. Not a battle for class position though. Callum McFall. Oh, Callum, what's happened to you? That's Callum McFall, our Pro-Am leader. What has he done? Oh, the tail got loose coming into the Schumacher S's. Sylvia Moraine's gone through, and quite wisely, Callum just got out of the way. There goes the VEC 286 Porsche. Ivor Costa's gone through. Liam McNinch. Surely Liam is going to go overtake him as well. Oh, what a shame for Callum McFall. He's gone. He has... no, he hasn't. He's lagged. Again, Callum. Told you before. Stop doing that. He's in. Is he coming in the pits? Yep, Callum McFall is coming in the pits with only 3.5 minutes to go. So whatever is plaguing him, he feels he cannot continue to race with. Oh, that is such a shame. It's going to drop him so far down. Unless, of course, he's been fuel saving and can no longer do so. That could be an issue. He may have underfueled the car. Well, no one told Scapers clearly didn't get the facts to slow down and bring it home. As, he's closed back in on Parkinson. 0.6 of a second. Separates the V3 Ford and the geodesic Ferrari. I'm just keeping an eye on Callum McFall's name as well as it continues to fall. How many times has he heard that one, I wonder? And he's still stationary in the pits, so he... Oh no, he's going again. He's lost a considerable amount of time. Oh, Van Ays and Sluman! Sluman, the tail got very lively on the Porsche as it was coming out of the Mercedes arena. Oh, you were lucky to hang on to that one. Casper Reed is enjoying the spectacle going on ahead of him, I dare say. Callum McFall comes out in 28th position. What a shame for Callum. 2 to go. Still leading the way is Jarek Aroni. No, that's Chris Yardley's car. That's a distinctive grin on the front of his... on the nose. And Callum is still falling down the field, so... He's either got damage. Well, he wasn't in the pits for too much longer than everybody else. So I wonder if he underfueled. It was longer than everyone else, but not too much longer. Oh, Sluman has lost positions. That's Casper Reed has gone through. Vaughan Malinace has now gone through. Let's try that again. Morgan Malinace. So what's happened to Marvin? Oh, Marvin, there's his name. There he is. Did he get a slowdown then? Because he was right with... If I go back far enough. There's Morgan. He must have either made a mistake or had a slowdown or something. Yeah, nothing going on there. Oh, Callum's out. Callum McFall, after that pit stop, he's made a mistake. He is out due to the instant limit. What's happened to Marvin there? Oh, he just wandered a bit wide. I think he's just he's being very, very cautious, actually. Final lap, I think. Whoa. No, not quite. The checker flag is about to fall 40 seconds before it does, and of course Caroni is going to beat it. So he will start lap 44, the final lap here at the Nurburgring. What an incredible race it has been. Klima in second, Sasolski third. Holstein is 12.6 seconds down the road. Escape is still on the back of Parkinson. He's not letting up at all. Timo is 5th. He is a couple of seconds down the road from this fight. As they come around to start the final lap, and Mike's just too far back. May well just kind of sit there and lurk, as opposed to sort of try and force the issue, because again, he's on 19 incident points. Actually, Parkinson's on 18. So Nathan can't go too crazy. A lot of people with very high incident counts. As mentioned, a few people have fallen foul of it. Oh, Ben Hitchcock, that's another one that's gone. Literally just happened. Oh, and oh, hi, Steam friend. That. I'm trying to get rid of that, and race disappears. Well, the checkered flag has fallen. Oh, Sarah Dove and Christopher Pfeffer. A lagging Christopher Pfeffer. Sarah Dove is going to have the inside line. That's going to be 11th. What a great race it's been for Sarah Dove. Still on the, still holding off Pfeffer, trying to deal with the lagging car. It's hard enough at the best of times. And she's got him. That's 3rd in the Pro-Ams. Great stuff then for Sarah Dove. Well played there. But once again, this man has been peerless. Your winner for Satellite Racing, car number 113. And there is the V3 Ford coming through. It is Jared Caroni. Claudio Klima for Geodesic comes home in 2nd position. 2nd and 3rd for Geodesic indeed. Dan Sasulski comes home in 3rd. Then the Comrade Porsche, our pole sitter, comes through in 4th place. Oh, what might have been. There is Timo. He's going to fight off that train of 3. Or lead, sorry, that train of 3. Oh, someone's hit the wall, but I suspect that's someone celebrating. Yep, Timo 5, Nathan 6th. Mike did indeed make it home on 19 incident points for 7th. Moraine is going to win the Pro-Ams after the fall of Callum. Again, I just realised what I said there. I did not mean the obvious pun there. Ivor Costa is going to come home in 9th. Liam McNean 2nd in the Pro-Ams. In 10th overall, Sarah Dove. After that long fight, she's actually had a lot of fights throughout the field, but she comes home 3rd in the Pro-Ams. 11th overall, Christopher Pfeffer 12th. Evan is going to fight off Andrew Langham Service just about. The 2 BMWs coming home 13-14. Alex Bennett, after his earlier problems, is oh my goodness, is going to be chased home by Morgan Valanace for 15th position. Our AM leader, our AM winner, our AM dominator really, has been Caspar Reed in the PTDC Motorsports BMW. Sluman comes home 18, Canute 19, and Roberto Edward in 20th, Takanikan in 21, Victor Matthias 22, Karen Van Eyck 23, there's Mr. Fletcher, there he is 24, Regis Lemieux 25, Merlin Cooper 26, Thomas Coombe in 27th, everybody else has already finished due to being at least 1 lap down. Holy moly! So, before any steward's intervention, it stands as such. Caroni once again taking the top spot on the podium. Then it is Klima, Sasolski, fastest lap just about, and done very early on in the race. Unsurprisingly, it was Christoph Holstein finishing in 4th. Then Gorlick, Parkinson, Scapers, Moraine winning for Pro-Ams. Costa, McNinch, Dove, Pfeffer, Emre, Langham Service, Bennett, Vananace, Al Reed winning for the AM class, Sluman, Martinson, Edouard, Nicolan, Matthias, Van Eyck, Fletcher, Lemieux, Cooper, Coombe, Martins, Yardley, Jersey, still can't say your name, not even attempting to, and I make no apologies for it, Zelenika, Selena, Kleiber, Smith, and those that didn't see the flag were McFall, Hitchcock, Drexler, Parsons, Norman Plessis, I think, did see the flag, just a number of laps down. Luke also did see the flag as well for V3. Marinsky, Hoppe, Foku, Williamson, McCracken, Gibbons, Linholt, Washington, and Myers. Holy moly! That was pretty intense. I think we'll all agree on that. So let's see who wants to have a chat with me, shall we? Oh my goodness me. Let's have a look. I'm not even in the Discord chat. So we need to get in there to actually signify to everybody else that I am here and ready to have a chat. Make sure I have the right microphone selected for Discord, otherwise no one can hear me. Lots and lots of people to chat to. So, before we crack on with that, let's get the music going. Cover your ears because this might be a bit loud. Come on. Don't die on me now, Rig. Don't do it. You've been giving me difficulties all night. Oh, there it is. And it won't turn down. There we go. Okay, we need to talk to Jared Caroni first off. Hello, Jared, once again.
Hello.
Wow. What? I mean, it looked like you were going to have to fight for it in the first half of the race before the pit stop. You were teasing us, weren't you? You knew you were going to run away in the second half of the race.
To be honest, I didn't know what happened to Christophe because I think with him it would be very close even at the end. He had a really good pace and it's a bit a shame. I don't know what's happened to him, but I was struggling during the first few laps and after it went a bit easier for me, and then when I was behind Christophe and see that I couldn't go for another take, I decided to lift, staying behind.
Goodness me! I mean, it looked like once again it was just everything was falling into your lap. But that early fight, that's something I'm going to ask. It's something that I try and kind of second guess. The fastest laps always tend to come in the beginning part of the race, as opposed to right at the end. When you're in that early phase, so you've done the first couple of laps, you're in your kind of position at that point, you were behind Christophe. How hard are you pushing? Are you pushing like 110% at this point, or are you kind of just backing off? Are you pacing yourself a little bit in those early stages?
I'm always trying to be 110%, but during the first, it depends how the start's going. If I see an opportunity to overtake and I feel faster, I will try to overtake, but if I see that the other guys have the same pace, I just decide to stay behind, no fighting to make a gap with the field, and just lifting till the pit stop. But the tires are really, I don't know how to say, the rubber just going really fast on this track, and after the first 2 laps you already dropped sometimes.
I see. Well, once again, Gerard, great race, well done, or if I pronounce this correctly, bella cose, bravo.
Thanks.
And we look forward to chatting to you again. Well done.
Yeah, see you, bye.
Who shall we chat to next? Who is wanting to have a chat to us, I wonder? Let us see. Let's chat to Evan Imrie. Are you there, fella?
Are you there?
Well, once again, a decent scrap in the midfield for you at certain points. Talk us through your race from your side.
Well, we started quite well in the middle of the park, and well, it was quite a train building up there in the middle of the race, and I was behind 5 or 6 cars, and when it came to the pit stop, I stayed out right to the end of my fuel tank, and somehow came out 5 seconds ahead of the train. So it was all about maintaining the gap there, and we had Paolo Martins in front, and I managed to overtake him on his wearing tyres. And then, well, a couple of people got disqualified up front, had incidents, and we just hanged on to 13th because Andrew was catching us quite quickly. But 13th place is pretty good.
Yeah, a pretty strong result. I think it was about 5th or so in the prelims, 5th, 6th, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's quite difficult for us to try and figure out who's who's where rather in the sort of pro-ams and AMs sometimes. But a nice solid result for you. Where was that where you were hoping for before today's race, or again just taking it as it comes?
Just taking it as it comes. Although I mean, as the weeks have been, as the races have been passing by, I'm getting more confident and actually feel like I can score points every race now. So it's a big improvement from where I was 2 seasons ago, down in the dumps, just finishing like between 25th and 30th if I actually did finish. So actually enjoying this league a lot more now than the Formula 3 league even.
Awesome stuff. And well, good luck for the remainder of the season, and get your iron brew ready, fella.
I will. Cheers.
Thank you, Evan. Catch you next time.
See you later.
I definitely want to find out. I definitely want to have a chat with Sarah Duff, because that's been a great race for her. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Well, podium finish for you.
Yeah, pretty pleased with that. It's a lot better than the last 3 weeks.
You have had some pretty dire luck in this, but what a way to, blast off the cobwebs. And you were, again, every time I looked at you, you were in a hell of a scrap with quite a lot of times, quite a lot of people. So talk us through it from your side.
Well, I started the qualifying and did a couple of laps, and then I went to refuel. So you can either hold escape and that takes you out of the car, or there's like a button in the UI that you can hold and press, and it resets you to the pits in the car. So I tried to press that, but I missed it and closed the sim. So that was my qualifying done. So I started 24th, which wasn't too great, and then just kind of had a big fight, and it was really hard to overtake because I just wasn't fast enough in a straight line. And then obviously if there's 5 cars in front of you, it's hard to do anything in the braking zone or anything like that. But I just kind of kept going and going, and then the magic tire wear fairy came along and saved me. And
Now,
I went really fast at the end.
Awesome stuff. Now, were you mindful of, past races, bad luck? Was that playing on your mind at all, or were you just focusing on the task at hand?
At the start, kind of, because I was really wary at the start of am I going to get crashed into? Am I going to die? Is it going to be all over again? But then it kind of settled down, and I just got focused on just doing laps and trying not to get off track. But it didn't really work because I got 12.
You saw the checker flag though. That's not everybody did.
That's a plus.
Great stuff, Sarah. Well done, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Now, one other person that has made themselves available is actually one of our debutantes. Unfortunately, wasn't able to see the flag, but was leading the class for a while. It's Callum McFall. Hello, Callum.
Hello.
Right. Well, a bit of a mixed bag for your debut race in this season. I mean, your pace was just absolutely insane for so long. What happened at the end? Was there damage? Was it fuel? What went on?
It was fuel. I owned the fuel by 2 litres.
No!
I know. All learning curve. It's all learning curve at the end. So then I pitted in to get a few litres of fuel, but I forgot that the rear tyres were put on to change. And so the rear tyres changed, and then the grip difference between the front tyres and the rear tyres kind of killed me.
I did wonder what was, because that's why I thought it was damaged, because when you came out, you were still struggling. So I wondered if there was damage that you couldn't get fixed or something. Oh my goodness. Well, as you say, it's all a learning curve, but what an amazing statement you've made. Were you were you looking forward to this race? Was it one that you were sure you're going to be strong on, or were you surprised at where the qualifying fell?
I'm quite surprised actually. I was trying to get a setup made about 6 days ago, like consistently. I just couldn't get anything. I was doing 1 minute 50 deads or whatever. And then this morning, I don't know, just something clicked with the setup, and so I found some good pace in the end. So yeah, it's a good strong start, but hopefully next week I can actually finish.
Well, I mean, you certainly alerted a lot of people as to your potential. Is there any particular races you have in mind as you're looking forward to, or something you're thinking, oh god, let's just get that over and done with? Is there anything of note?
No, not really. I just take every race as it comes. Some tracks I'm still to actually buy, so I don't know what my pace is going to be like around certain tracks, but I look forward to seeing where I am in the pecking order.
Likewise, from what you've shown today, which should be really much cat amongst the pigeons. So, great effort, well done. It's a shame that you weren't able to see the flag, but it was so close, and I have no doubt we have a lot to look forward to for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Callum, and that is going to be it for this evening's race. Before I sign off, there is a social race or a test race going on in the Mazda MX-5s at the Charlotte Oval. This Thursday, I believe it is, on the 11th at 7 p.m. It's a GMT +1. So it's those that it's a bit of a beginner-friendly race, one that may well have a league formed for it for slower cars. So people that are maybe new to iRacing or have less experience upon them, give it a try. There's a tester race. It is open to all, so get signed up if you have the content. Of course, all are welcome to join. Thank you very much to our sponsors. Without you guys, AOR would not continue to grow. Thank you to our drivers for putting on an amazing show, and I've thoroughly enjoyed screaming about it for the last few hours. And we will see you next week for more GTE action, but there's plenty of other racing going on in between then and now. So until then, thank you very much, and good night!